Okay, good afternoon everyone and welcome to Hilton, West Palm Beach for this media conference with Ezri Konsa ahead of tomorrow's matchup with New Zealand in Tampa. Quick bit of housekeeping, if we can minimise it to 2 questions per person. If we do have time at the end, we'll come back to you. And also just raise your hand if you do have a question. I think we'll begin with Rob Dorset.
Ezri, lovely to see you.
Hello.
We should never forget that this is the kind of biggest stage in world football. It's the pinnacle of any player's career and it's your first World Cup. So how special is it?
Yeah, very special. Tournament I've always wanted to play in since I was a little kid. So yeah, it's a dream come true and hopefully I get the opportunity to play.
Does it feel like a World Cup yet?
Not yet. I think closer to the time, closer to the first game, I think that's when it will feel like it.
You were such a key part of England's qualifying campaign. You played in 7 of the 8 qualifiers. But there's a heck of a lot of competition for places. How big a kick in the teeth would it be for you if you weren't in Thomas Tuchel's starting 2 centre-backs for those tournament matches now?
Look, competition is always good. I think you need that, keeps you on your toes. But for me, look, if I get the opportunity, I'll be ready. You know, it's a team game. You know, starters, players on the bench, whatever. We've got a good group here, so whoever's starting and whoever's on the bench, we're going to support each other no matter what. And yeah, look, like I said, if I'm called upon, I'll be ready.
Carrie Brown here.
Hello, Ezri. I have to ask you about the extraordinary season you've gone through with Aston Villa, and now you have the spine of an England team with you from that club as well, from missing out on Champions League on the last day of the season last year and the difficult start with departing players to getting qualified for the Champions League again and lifting that trophy with a brilliant performance in defence from yourself and Morgan and Ollie, brilliant performances as well, unselfish when they had to be. How has that changed you all as players on that roller coaster, and how does it give you the belief you can navigate this World Cup?
Yeah, coming off the season that we've just had, we're coming into this tournament full of confidence. We've got a lot of winners in the team. You know, for me, Morgan and Ollie, you know, the season has been, like you said, up and down, but for us, we achieved what we wanted to achieve, which was Champions League. That was the main priority, and you know, in the end, we managed to get the Europa League trophy as well. So, like you said, we're coming into the tournament full of confidence, and can't wait to get started.
Saw a wonderful moment of Bukayo Saka FaceTiming you when you were enjoying your victory parade. Did you return the favour for the Arsenal victory parade? And how close is that relationship to be rivals in the Premier League but celebrating the glory you've all had?
Yeah, on the pitch, you know, you've got to forget that you're friends, but off the pitch, you've got to have that relationship. And when you come here, you can see that the group that we have is a special one. We're all together, we're all close, and yeah, I didn't return the favour when Bukayo was on his parade, but yeah, it was a nice gesture, and yeah, looking forward to seeing him again.
Yeah, Rob Jones.
Hey Ezri, how much conversation have you had so far about controlling the tempo of games given the conditions, and is it clear to you that these matches are going to look very different to Premier League games because of the heat?
Yeah, of course. You know, most of our players were not used to playing in this kind of heat, but we're training out here now for the next 2 weeks. We've got to get used to it very quickly. I don't think it will be a problem for us. But yeah, of course, you want to control every game that you play. And for us, that's something that we're going to try and do, no matter who we're playing. So yeah, control is something that we want to have. We've got the players to do that.
Can you give us a sense of how much and the type of work you're doing behind the scenes when it comes to recovery after every time you go out there in the heat?
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff at the facilities for us to recover, Normatex, ice baths. So yeah, we're in a good place. We've got a lot of stuff that can help us recover really quick, and yeah, that's a credit to the staff.
Sure. Henry.
Ezri, hi. First, good luck in the tournament. You've been on quite a journey: League One, Championship, Premier League, Europa League, Champions League. If I mentioned that, Euros, and now the World Cup. What mindset have you needed from that word go to here? Thank you.
A positive mindset, a strong one. I've said it before in interviews. In this sport, you've got to have a strong mentality, and I think I've been blessed with that. Like you said, the journey I've been on wasn't the easiest, but everyone's got their own story, and you know, I wouldn't change mine for the world. I've had to put in the hard work, and I'm here for it.
Sammy?
Ezri, have you had a chance to have a conversation about the pitch at the stadium tomorrow? It looks a little bit maybe knitted together as much as it, like, more than it probably should be, and may pose you a few problems. Have you had an opportunity to speak about that collectively?
No, nothing at all. I actually haven't seen it, so I ain't got a clue what we're walking into tomorrow.
Fair enough. And then just in terms of what are you looking to get out of the game? Because obviously you're fresh out of the season, long season, but in terms of your fitness and acclimatising to the conditions, what is the sort of the best scenario for you tomorrow?
Yeah, just getting our legs going again, getting some fitness back into our system. You know, when the season was done, we had a little break, so we're going to use these games to get fitness back, and we're going to take it very seriously, and go into the first game full of confidence.
Gabe?
Thank you very much. Ezri, good to see you. A lot of the players obviously went deep into competitions in intense matches towards the end of the season. You've got 16 days together before your first game. Is that long build-up, longer than many England teams before you, an advantage or a disadvantage?
I think it's an advantage. 16 days is a long time to prepare, a long time to spend together and do what we need to work on to make sure we do the right things coming to the first game. So, yeah, I think 16 days is good for us.
And you mentioned the heat. You said it won't be a problem. What gives you that confidence?
Before we come here, we had to work on. We had a camp where we did some training in heat on the watt bikes. And I think for us players, there are a lot of us that have come to America before in pre-season. We've played in this heat before, so something that we have to get used to quickly as players if we want to progress well.
Thank you.
James?
Very hi. Obviously, Villa won the Europa League. Arsenal won their first title in 22 years, got to a Champions League final. Palace won the Conference League. The fact that you've got so many players that are breaking new ground, winning competitions, how much can that help you this summer?
Yeah, a lot. Like I said, we've got a lot of winners in the team. FA Cup as well, Carabao Cup. Players are coming into the tournament with a lot of confidence and a lot of belief. So yeah, I think the group that we have is special. Like I said, full of winners, and we can't wait to get going.
Does it, for you personally, just lifting that trophy, does it kind of mentally take you to a different place, that you sort of feel like you belong at a higher level?
It was my first trophy, so it was a nice feeling. I wouldn't say it changed much. It just made me hungry for more. So yeah, I'll use it for motivation.
Good luck.
Okay, any further questions? Yep. Right there, thanks.
Hi, Ezri. After the Europa League win, Prince William came to visit the team. President of the FA, was he able to speak to you about the World Cup?
No, he didn't say much. He was just happy that we won and was celebrating with us. So he didn't speak much about the World Cup, and I don't think it was the time to do that. I think we was in the moment of enjoying the victory that we had and spending time together as a team, and with him being there, it was a special moment.
Okay, one more here, Carrie. Wait. Thanks.
Ezri, this is a bit of a test case, this World Cup, the longest one that any camp has gone through. What preparation has been put in place, and you come to it knowing you're going to be away for a long time with one group of players? What's the chemistry like, and how are you talking about how long you're going to be away from your families to go and get that ultimate prize, and how you're going to go about that?
No, we ain't speaking about it. I think we're taking it day by day, enjoying each moment as it comes. We're really close as a group. We do activities together. So, yeah, we haven't spoken about that, but I'm sure it will get to a point where we start missing family, but there'll be opportunities to see them. What's the one message from Thomas that you're hearing on repeat going into this first match and as you're getting this World Cup campaign underway? Take responsibility, do the right things every day, set standards, and yeah, it's all about effort, putting in the right effort as a team, and that's it really.
Okay, finish with Sam.
Ezri, congratulations on the Europa League. Congratulations for making the World Cup squad. World Cups are events that the whole country looks forward to. It becomes part of the national conversation. Everyone has one team. Kids watch their first World Cup and fall in love with the sport. How aware are you as a group of players of those sort of things happening back home?
Yeah, we know how much joy we can bring to people back home. I personally saw that at the Euros. You know, after we beat Switzerland in penalties, you see the celebrations back home. You see the joy that we can bring to people. So we know how big it is for us as players and for the nation. So we're going to do everything we can to make everyone back home happy.
And you mentioned the Euros. Because of what happened in the final, how much more desire is there amongst the group to go that next step this time around?
Yeah, a lot of desire. I think as players, once you reach a level where you've got to finals and you haven't won, the next one that comes, you want to get over the line and win. So I think for us, we'll use it as motivation and try and get there again, but this time get over the line.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll have Thomas Tuchel shortly. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. Oh, well, that's slow.
Okay, everyone, back with Thomas Tuchel. Again, 2 questions per person initially, and we'll see what time we have. So,
That's low seating, no?
Rob, do you want to start?
Thomas, good to see you.
Thank you.
It's been very hot since you arrived in Florida, but the truth is, we've been here about a week now. We kind of expected it to be hotter. I wondered, we know that's why you brought the players here, to try and force through the acclimatisation. Has the fact that it's maybe not hit the heights affected that plan a little bit?
Well, yeah, it just showed us you can plan whatever you want, and life does what it wants itself, and it has all its rights. So it was a lot of rain, it was a lot of grey sky, very unusual for 3-4 days now. So today was the first day in the sun, complete day in the sun, and completely training in the sun, which is what we wanted. It was still very warm. We still had the chance to train on a high level. The training was not affected by the weather. In the opposite, it's easier to train without the sunshine. So no problem. We adapt to it. We make the most out of it. The pool was not used in the afternoon until now. I think that will change today. But everything fine. We have best conditions on the pitch. The pitches took the rain well, and it did not affect the mood, and did for sure not affect the quality of training. And we don't have the hours that we wanted to be exposed, but we will catch up with it, I think, in the next weeks.
Yeah, the forecast looks that way.
Yeah.
Look, there's a number of players in your squad where their club future is, I suppose, a little uncertain at the moment.
Yeah.
It's a bit up in the air. And we've never had to ask you this before. But what's your policy? If a player came to you and said, can I pop out and do a medical, or can I go and talk to my agent, or can I negotiate? What would your answer be?
Common sense, I would say. Common sense. I would not like it on a -1 and on a match day. I think that's the policy, and everything else, if it's like quietly done and privately done and done efficiently, then we are always happy to help, to have clarity around the player, because I think the best what we can have is clarity. So if anyone has the chance to complete a change of club and a transfer, we will not stand in the way, but it has to align, of course, with our schedule and with our goals, which is to be focused and prepared for matches. So I think in the last day before the match, for sure, maybe even the second day before a match, not. But let's see. We take it case by case. Until now, no player approached me. But I think our doc is ready to take any medical if needed.
Thank you.
Carrie?
Hello, Thomas. You've
Hi.
finally got what you want, your players with you, almost all of them. Have you spoken to the Arsenal players, and what have your conversations been? The timing of the parade was very good psychologically after the disappointment of missing out from the Champions League.
Yeah, but I haven't spoken to them. I think they got a lot of messages and spoken to a lot of people, and I thought I'd just leave them to themselves. They could be proud of what they achieved. We spoke after their title in the Premier League, which was the big target, and I think that was the main target, and that they achieved that, and I could feel that it makes them proud and took a weight off their shoulders and gave them a huge boost for the final. And then they went toe-to-toe with the best team in the world at the moment, and they made them go the full length and into penalty shootout. At some point you have to find a winner in a final, and and it had to be done with the last shot of the penalty shootout, so it's as close as it can get, and I think there is no need to be overly disappointed and to carry it into the World Cup campaign. I don't see that. I will see them tomorrow, and I think it will be no issue to lift them if needed. But I saw pictures and I heard messages already that they're happy to come, and group is waiting. We're in good spirits, so this is normally what helps, and I think they're very well aware of what they achieved this season.
Ezri Konsa very much talking about personal responsibility, ownership, not making excuses about the heat and the weather. Looking at the pitch, though, for tomorrow's match, are you concerned about it, and will it affect your team selection?
I just saw it. No, it will not affect my team selection, because what I heard until now is that it should be okay, and we want it, of course, to be okay. I saw just a photo from your colleague that made me a little bit worried and concerned, but yeah. Let's decide when we are there. If there are any issues, we can always react to it. The plan is tomorrow to play 45 minutes with 2 complete teams to expose everyone to the same amount of minutes, and then we can continue the next 3 days with the same load of training. That is the plan, and at the moment we stick to the plan.
Thomas, you spoke about the Arsenal players there, but you've got 14 out of the 26 players in your squad have won a trophy or more this season.
Yeah.
How important is that when the pressure comes of playing for England in a major tournament, that they've got recent history of lifting silverware and playing under the most intense pressure?
Yeah, it's amazing, and we said congratulations, of course, in the first meeting here in Florida, because it is always an achievement to win silverware. That's always something that you should cherish and take in completely, because it's something very special and makes a season special, and it does something to a player. So we're very, very happy that we have a lot of winners, like you said, and it just lets your confidence grow in a genuine way, so it's not artificial. Players know that they can handle the pressure. The players know that they performed in finals, and Arsenal boys in a long season, so it's good. They put it over the line, and yeah, this feeling is you cannot substitute this kind of feeling and this kind of belief. So we're very, very happy that we have a lot of winners in our squad.
Just on your forwards as well, given the conditions, is Harry Kane one of the players you'll be most wary of in terms of managing his minutes as best you can? And what are the different attributes that Ivan Toney and Ollie Watkins give you?
Well, Harry is, of course, a key player. There's no doubt and no secret about that. He's one of our key players. And of course, we take care of our key players, but we want our key players also on the pitch. So ideally, we can take some minutes off him. But if the matches are close, do we really do this? If the matches are close and not decided, do we take our skipper off? Do we take our main goal scorer or main goal threat off? Maybe not. I think the most important is the shape in which Harry is. He's in top shape, and he's ready to go. He was like the leading player who set the intensity today in training, in a defensive training day. So he's used to this. He's used to high pressing. He's used to high intensity in the opponent's half with Bayern Munich. That's what he shows. So I think we don't have to be worried about him at all, even if it's hot and humid. So he just showed me the whole week that he is ready. He's determined. He also got titles. He was so influential at Bayern Munich's campaign until the semi-final in the Champions League. He scored 3 in the cup final. So he's our key player. And the 2 other number 9s are very different player. I think like Ollie is more the guy maybe to start for Harry, if we think Harry should not start the match, and to keep the intensity up, to keep the press going. That is the strength of Ollie that he showed for us, and Ivan is a kind of a finisher for us, finisher of matches, maybe with a special task to take the what was it, like the attention of defenders of Harry, Then we have a second, we can play with a second striker. He's very, very good in the box, very good with set pieces, good penalty taker. Trains on a high level. I'm very happy with him. He just showed that it was right to take him. His brilliant attitude and good training sessions through the whole week. So, yeah, we have some options. And Harry is, of course, like I said, the main guy up front.
Okay. Yeah, hi, Thomas. Talking to Ezri Konsa said so many of the squad are used to training in America pre-season. Yeah. He said heat won't be a problem. Do you share that confidence?
Yeah, I like it. Like it's typical Ezri, he does not dribble around it. He just nails it to the point, and that's good. Because we don't want it to be an excuse. It will be tough. It will be hopefully a long World Cup. It will be a lot of traveling. It will be a lot of adversity from the heat, from humidity. We had a delay in training already for almost 1 hour because of lightning. So, but that's also the task for us, and that's also what we want to achieve, to have an atmosphere where we stay calm, where we stay patient, and where we adapt to the circumstances. That's just what it takes, I think, to go through the tournament. Players are not complaining at all at the moment. I know it's quite early, and hopefully it stays that way, but that's what Ezri says, sets the tone, and I agree with him.
Yeah, and you mentioned Ivan Toney. Having him back in the squad after so long out, a couple of minutes he's played for England between 2 tournaments.
Yeah.
What have you sensed in him, having been given this opportunity?
Well, we had a lot of positive feedback, first of all, about his role in the last tournament and about his role like in club football, that he is a guy who easily connects with everyone in the group. He's respected by everyone. And then we had like 1 or 2 honest conversations, if he can handle the role, if he would be happy to have this role that we can offer him. And he made us, he was very believable, and he straight away said yes, he would be happy to join and come. He has a big personality. He's, like I said, fantastic, one of the world's best penalty takers. He just showed in the training matches that he's very calm in finishing, 1-touch, 2-touch finishing. So he gives something to the group that we can use, and we can finally also have someone, if the game is around the opponent's box, to play with Harry and to be very, very offensive. And he agreed with all that, and the standing in the group was never in doubt, because the feedback from his coaches, former coaches, staff members and team members was always absolutely positive. And he proves that until today.
Sammy.
Thomas, in the game tomorrow, I guess the 2 games, what's the priority for you? Is it minutes in legs, or is it the development of partnerships on the field, looking ahead to the game against Croatia?
Croatia will be very different to these opponents, I feel already, which is fair enough and also normal. So it's a mix of what you said. I think tomorrow is maybe the focus more on the minutes. So we will share the minutes that we can continue in the training process together, and we don't have to split the group up and take care of the guys who played a bit less and take care of the guys who played a little bit more. We just will give everyone the minutes and everyone a go finally here at the World Cup. But at the same time, it's also like to reconnect to our identity and the stuff that we did good. So we had a lot of meetings offensively and defensively, and we wanna see how far we can push this already. It is maybe more about connections on each side, more about connections in the back 4, on the side, in attack. How do we attack right side? How do we attack left side? How is the connection within the back 4? When do we initiate the high press and all that stuff? So we had a lot of input already. Let's see how much we can see tomorrow on the pitch. But the focus tomorrow is maybe more on the minutes and on connections between 2-3 players. I think against Croatia it will be a very different game. And we have still 4 training days in Kansas to prepare Croatia. So Croatia is at the moment does not exist in the talk to the players, or it's not a theme in the training sessions. This is about us, and we spoke today about New Zealand, and the special things that New Zealand does already in the deep build-up about their structure and how can we initiate the high press. So it was more about this. It is mainly about us and our behaviors that is in total focus for tomorrow.
And just last of all, realistically, in the two games, how much of an opportunity is there for the players to, or maybe some of the players that are just on the fringe of the first team, starting 11, to work their way into that starting 11 for the game?
Yeah,
against Croatia?
there's always a chance. There's always a chance. For me, it's just nice to see who is actually, like, we come from such different seasons. Like we just talked about it with your colleagues, Morgan Rogers reaches 5,000 minutes tomorrow, and then we have like Tino Livramento, who just finished he's back in team training after 5 weeks out. So it's more for me to observe, like, how fresh are we, how much does the body do what the mind wants, and then like who's tired, who's fresh, who is like who can show it on the pitch, because the trust is there, and of course I have quite a big group of players that I trust to start for us, and I think the roles are clear and everyone makes the most of these roles, and these roles can of course change, and the door is open, always open to impress, and the door is always open for last minute changes. But at the moment, the atmosphere is relaxed and calm and focused, and hopefully we can show that tomorrow with an intense match, 45 minutes, but also with confidence and with joy to be back on the pitch and be finally in America and having the opportunity to show up.
Thomas, hi. First, good luck in the tournament.
Thanks.
Secondly, many of your predecessors have come into World Cups with players either missing, injured, or players who are taking injuries into tournaments. Yeah. Remember Beckham, Rooney, Gerrard, Rio Ferdinand, Maddison at the last World Cup. You're missing Levi Colwill, but you've actually had a pretty clean bill of health. Do you feel a lucky manager?
Yeah, I'm a very lucky manager, because I could choose a group and go to a World Cup with a group that I chose, and it's English players, and I love all the players, so I'm a very, very lucky manager. And yeah, this is a part of it. Of course, I was very nervous through the last weeks when I watched matches and saw players like going out, and like I instantly texted, "Is everything okay?" Of course, and we need this kind of luck if we want to go a long way. You need just this kind of luck. If we are unlucky and we have injuries in key moments and in key matches, then it's just not the same thing. We will always try to find solutions then, because we don't want to be fully dependent on individual players, but it's just the reality. At the moment, it's just beautiful that we can train in the full-size squad, and the young players that we took are doing excellent, and we're taking care of the players and managing the load. So it seems like we have tomorrow everyone available, and it continues. So every match has the risk of an injury, but let's not, knock on wood, let's not talk about so much about it, and don't put it out there in the moment. The manager's lucky and happy, and we have the chance to let everyone play.
Thomas, I take your point that you aren't talking to the players about Croatia yet, but sitting there right now, in your own mind, do you know what your starting 11 is against Croatia? Or are these two games, are you still processing that over the course of these two games?
I will still process it, because I will also I don't want to narrow myself down, and then we have maybe slight injury worries, or someone carries something that is not confident, and it just freaks me out. So we will always take last decisions. But I have a clear idea, I think, of 14, 15 starters that can start for us and should start for us and can carry this team. And we will always have this pool of players to choose from, and to choose from also what we see from the energy, who's in shape, who's in form, who fits maybe a little bit better to the opponent. I had a pretty detailed look already, of course, at Croatia over the last weeks, but the last week was completely about us and completely about our behavior. So I will dive into this subject when we go to Kansas and prepare from then.
And we've just quickly, we've been talking about and listening to people about these devices that you've got, that you're monitoring your players. And
yeah.
How much are you looking at that, and how much will that inform your decision before the 17th about?
Less than you think. Less than you think. I'm very happy that we track them, and our physical department, our performance coach, and performance department, they are tracking all this and make sure that we load them in the right way, and they top up our training or they reduce our training, whatever is needed, and give us advice of how much we can train on every day. But it's mostly also the devices are also needed for tracking the sleep, so we know about the recovery. It's mostly to help the players, so if we see someone is struggling with sleep, we can help them and with supplements and with a routine, or with like with a new sleeping routine before sleep, stuff like that, to make sure that the jet lag is out of the way, to make sure that the sleep is long enough, is deep enough, so to actually, that we actually have the best possible performance out of the player. So this is just normality, I think, nowadays to track all the data. But my decision does not depend too much of it. I'm aware if significant problems or significant numbers are not the way that they should be, but normally is not my key domain.
Okay, we'll finish with James then.
Thomas, hi. Just want to go back to Rob's question about transfers. You've got obviously Morgan Rogers, Elliot Anderson, Marcus Rashford, all been kind of linked with moves. Do you have any concern that it could be a distraction for them? And ideally, do you want all that sorted before the actual tournament starts?
Yeah, that would be ideal, but that's maybe not real life. So the question would be how much to worry. Like if I would now go like. Would this even be possible to say, no, you don't deal with that now? The telephone will just still blow up. How do we want to control that? So it's more the other way around. I'm always there to help. I'm always there to calm things down. I'm always there to, like, we should more help them to have an own environment where they can handle the distraction, where they can dive in. They have to concentrate. They have to do the most to fulfill their role that we have for them, because I can see, of course, the distraction if clubs are fighting for you, if clubs want to sign you, and sporting directors and agents and coaches are trying to get you on the phone. Of course, it's a distraction, but it's just also reality. So we will always recommend the player to take a decision before a tournament starts, and as early as possible, and then go with the decision. But it's also not always possible for the player. So, yeah, I think we're not alone in this. It's just like how this thing plays.
Can I just ask you about IFAB changed the rules before the tournament?
A lot of rules.
Yeah, I mean, but the one that kind of grabbed the attention was the grappling in the box before a corner comes in. And apparently they used the Ben White goal against Uruguay as an example of what not to do or what will be stopped. I just wanted your reaction to that.
We were not so happy that it was like one goal, and was it one goal and was by chance our goal? Yeah. Okay, so there are a lot of changes of rules, and I'm happy that we have another meeting, I think next week. I had already a meeting. I'm not sure that I understood everything correctly, and it was quite a lot. And I'm just a little bit worried that it's quite a lot still in a subjective manner for the referee to decide, and still a lot of. I just fear for the referees to have a lot of additional decisions to make on the pitch, and I'm not sure if all of them give us more clarity. I can see the urge to have more clarity, but I'm not sure that rule changes so shortly before a tournament will encourage that. But okay, let's see. We will of course play according to the rules, and we are aware that in Premier League the corners and the set pieces are more physical than in other countries. So, but I think that's a normal thing. I think in Europa League it's a little bit different. In Champions League it's the refereeing is a bit different, and then you adapt. The rule that you say was about like blocking before the ball was in play. And so let's see. I mean, we will of course, it is a strength of us, and we will of course try to make the best out of it. Why wouldn't we? It's just a way to do it, and I think every team will try to do it. Hopefully we find a consistent way to referee it. I think this is what everyone looks for, just consistency. And it's difficult enough for everyone. With new rules, hopefully we get more clarity, but yeah, it's not always the case if they are so implemented on such a short notice. But I'm happy that we have next week another meeting, and we will get our head around it. So.
Thomas, good luck for the tournament. You talked about adapting to different circumstances just now. And when you came into the role, you talked about the game model you would try and use, the high-intensity, Premier League physical, up-and-at-them model. How much, because of what you've learnt over the last 18 months and because of the environment that you're going to be playing in, have you had to adapt that game model for this World Cup?
I think I think we can still try to implement it and still try to impose ourselves, and I think still we should. We learned from the Club World Cup last year that the games drop in intensity, but not like that does not change the game completely. It drops, so it is less sprints, it is less intense runs. I think to I don't know, 15% of it, so it's not dramatically, and I think it's not enough to change your game model completely. It will change naturally, but we also have a water break to breathe. I think it will be there's a value in recovering the ball high, even if it brings risk, and even if it is highly intense. But I think there's also a high value in having the ball and moving the ball and not chasing the ball. So in the last tournaments it was very, very important to not chase too much. I think that the result, so to score first, to have the full focus on that. So these are the things. But at the moment we are fine. At the moment the heat is okay. It is hot, but it's not crazy hot until now. The players like Ezri are used to it. They go to pre-seasons in this kind of climate and play in these kind of conditions. So at the moment we're trying to just play our game, and then let's see where this brings us. There will be moments in a game where we have to play economically, but this should be then like on the ball, preferably on the ball and not off the